The following are the existing views about James, the brother of the Lord, since the 3rd century. Assumption 1. James, the Lord's brother, was the son of Mary, Mary's sister, the wife of Clopas. Analysis. Mary, the wife of Clopas, was a follower of Jesus from Capernaum until his crucifixion. She was the sister of Mary, the mother of Jesus. She had 2 sons, James and Joseph. Matthew 27:55-56, NIV. Many women were there, looking on from a distance, who had followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering to him. Among them were Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of the sons of Zebedee. On the other hand, if Mary the wife of Clopas had been a follower of Jesus from the beginning of his ministry, Jesus was rejected in his hometown, among his family, and even in his own home. Not only that, they wanted to throw Jesus off a high cliff. Matthew 13:53-58, Mark 6:1-6, Luke 4:16-30.
Matthew chapter 13, verses 53-58, NET. Now, when Jesus finished these parables, he moved on from there. Then he came to his hometown and began to teach the people in their synagogue. They were astonished and said, "Where did this man get such wisdom and miraculous powers? Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother named Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? And aren't all his sisters here with us? Where did he get all this?" And so they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his hometown and in his own house." And he did not do many miracles there because of their unbelief.
Another contradiction. His brothers didn't believe in Jesus. And not only that, his biological family thought Jesus was insane and wanted to put him in chains.
For even his own brothers did not believe in him. Jesus answered them, "My time has not yet come, but yours always has time. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me, because I testify about it that its works are evil."
Mark chapter 3, verses 20-21, from 31-32, NIV. Then Jesus went into a house, and the crowd gathered again, so that they could not even eat. When his family heard about it, they went out to lay hold of him, for they said, "He is out of his mind." Then his mother and brothers came, and standing outside, they sent word to him, calling him. A crowd was sitting around him, and they said to him, "Look, your mother and brothers are standing outside, seeking to see you."
The question is it possible that Mary, the mother of Jesus, along with the children of Mary, the wife of Clopas, came from Nazareth to Capernaum to imprison Jesus while Mary, the wife of Clopas, was in the house where Jesus was? The answer is, of course, no. Therefore, it can be concluded that James, the Lord's brother, was not the son of Mary, the wife of Clopas. Assumption 2. James, the brother of the Lord, is the Apostle James, son of Alphaeus. Analysis. Alphaeus actually had 5 sons who became disciples of Jesus: Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthew, or Levi, the tax collector.
Matthew 10:3, NIV. Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus. Mark 3:18, NIV. Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot. Luke 6:14-15, NIV. Simon, whom he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James son of Alphaeus, and Simon who was called the Zealot. Mark 2:14. As he passed by, he saw Levi son of Alphaeus sitting at the tax booth and said to him, "Follow me." Levi got up and followed him. Alphaeus actually had 5 sons who became disciples of Jesus. Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthew, Levi the tax collector.
Acts 1:13. When they arrive in the city, take them up to the upper room where they board. They were Peter and John, James and Andrew, Philip and Thomas, Bartholomew and Matthew, James, son of Alphaeus, and Simon the Zealot, and Judas, son of James.
So James came from a family of tax collectors. Even if we were to link his kinship to Jesus, the idea that Alphaeus was the first husband of Mary, the wife of Clopas, would still be invalid, because James, son of Alphaeus, had only recently met Jesus. He was not Jesus' brother.
And similar to the previous assumption, it's impossible that James the son of Alphaeus, Jesus' disciple, was the same person as James, the Lord's brother, who attempted to imprison him. In fact, I would say this is a too idiotic assumption.
I believe the Catholic Church Fathers made this assumption not only to support the doctrine of the Blessed Virgin, but also to trace the apostleship of James the Just back to James ibn Alphaeus. This is because James the Just was considered the apostle of Jerusalem by them. The Bible, however, denies James the Just's apostleship. Assumption 3, James, the brother of the Lord, was the son of Joseph, Mary's husband, by his first wife.
Analysis, Luke 2:4-7 NIV. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David. He was to be registered with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. While they were there, the time came for Mary to give birth. She gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
This verse states that Jesus was her firstborn son, or their firstborn son, Huiosios autos ho prototokos. The Greek word autos here could refer to Joseph, Mary, or them, based on the previous sentence.
But according to the context, the autos here is Joseph. Because the subject in verse 4 is Joseph, Joseph is also the one who registered himself with his family. Also considering the patrilineal culture, and also the most likely one who wrapped in swaddling clothes and laid the baby Jesus, so the word autos refers to the main subject, namely Joseph. Thus, Jesus was Joseph's firstborn. Furthermore, the question is why it is not mentioned that Joseph brought his children to be registered. Likewise, when Joseph went to Egypt, it's not mentioned that he took his children with him, and the fact that children under the age of 2 were killed at the time is unclear. But never mind, let's just say this is debatable. Of the 3 assumptions, let's consider the third one debatable. However, this assumption invalidates James the Just's apostleship. Ha! Earlier, we discussed assumptions that are often used to prove other assumptions, namely, the logic of circular argumentation. In the next episode, I will discuss the biblical facts about who James, the brother of the Lord, was, then the biblical narratives used to prove the assumption that Mary, the mother of Jesus, was a perpetual virgin. Biblical facts about who James the Lord's brother was in the context of the counter-doctrine of the Immaculate Conception. 1. The prophecies of the Psalms about Jesus indicate that his brothers were his mother's sons.
Psalm 69, verses 8 and 9, ESV 69:9. I have become an outsider to my brothers, a stranger to my mother's children. For love for your house consumes me, and words that reproach you have fallen upon me. Psalm 50, 20-21, NIV. You sit and slander your brother, you slander your mother's son. You do this, but I keep silent. You think I am your equal. I will rebuke you and bring your case before you.